Hi everybody, Mary Jane from Music Therapy Works, bringing you another music therapy morsel. And today we're going to talk about quick tips when you're planning and taking data. So this is quick tips for data collection from musictherapyworks.com. Data collection is one of those things that we as music therapists have to do. We need to be able to use data as a cornerstone of our music therapy practices because this tells us whether or not the intervention is working for the client. And we need to be able to demonstrate that through our data collection, our data analysis, so that way people will feel justified in purchasing our services. Because, you don't pay for something that doesn't work for you, right? And so the way to show that something is working is to take data on a variety of different things. Unfortunately, data collection is a lot like assessments. It's a lot like session planning, where you can't really come up with a formula that will work for every client the same way every time. And so everything has to be based on the rest of the things we do, but essentially, it has to be based on the client that we're working with. And so I'm going to give you some quick general tips to think about when you're getting ready to do data collection for your clients. And specifically, things to think about as you're going through this process. Now, this is not meant to be a complete discussion by any means. Morsels are supposed to be kind of short and sweet and to the point. If you're interested in more information, like how to write rock-solid clinical goals and objectives, I encourage you to keep an eye on my website, musictherapyworks.com, because I intend to have a new continuing music therapy education course up at the end of April 2019, which talks about nuts and bolts of being a music therapist and some of those skills that we have to do. And so one of the modules will be on writing rock-solid clinical goals and objectives and benchmarks for your clients. So if you're interested in more information about this, please feel free to check out the website. Also, check out the subscription button here and subscribe. So let's get into our topic. Data collection has to be directly related to your goals and your objectives and your benchmarks. You need to have information, you need to be collecting data on what is important for the client, and that is all based in our treatment planning, our assessments, and our evaluations that we do. And one of the things to keep in mind is that this process is going to change based on the type of music therapy that the client is involved in and the situations that are part of the environmental music therapy aspects. So for example, my music therapy data collection processes for an individual in music therapy treatment are going to be significantly different than if I have that same client in a group setting where they are with 8 other clients who all have goals and objectives that I need to be tracking as the therapist while I'm facilitating music therapy. If I have the availability and the access to electronics, to video equipment, and the time to sit down and review those videos over and over again, my data collection is going to look significantly different than it does at my current situation where I don't have time to do those things and I don't have the equipment or the material to do it. If I'm providing music therapy, community music therapy services, I may want to do something a little bit more along the lines of general group goals, such as during the 45-minute drum session, we will have at least 5 suggestions generated by the persons who are there to add and increase our musical exploration as a community. How you write your goals and objectives are going to be very much based in the types of treatment that you're providing, as well as the client themselves. And so you need to keep that in mind when you're generating your client goals. Also, you want to make sure that your data collection actually answers the questions that you have put in for your goals and objectives. So for example, if you want to know how many times a client engages in a specific skill, a specific behavior, a specific response, you're going to be looking at counting the number of occurrences, so frequency data collection. If you want to know how much time a person spends engaged in a particular activity, you're going to be looking at durational recording. If you are looking to see if you provide a certain number of opportunities and you want to know how many times the client will actually complete those opportunities, you're going to be looking at a trial basis. 3 out of 5 trials, which means that your treatment planning is going to require that you offer 5 trials because you have set it up that way. If you want to find out if clients are engaged in actual activity, then there are methods such as play check. There are tools that you can use. If you're looking at pain amelioration, you can look at pain level indicators. You can look at other standardized tools to help you get an idea of how music therapy treatment is effective or not. One of the things to keep in mind is that as the number of clients increase in your treatment, as the number of goals that you're taking data on increase in your treatment, your collection methods may not be, some collection methods may not be possible. If you have 8 clients who are in a music therapy treatment group and you are having to track 8 different goals and objectives, you may find it very difficult to get accurate data if you are the one facilitating the group and taking the data simultaneously, and you want frequency counts on every time client A makes an utterance and every time client B gets off track, and every time client C engages in what they're supposed to be engaging in, and every time client D. I mean, you get the idea that it's really difficult to keep track of multiple data points. And so what you have to do, because you still need to be taking data on client interaction and their goals and objectives, the reasons that they're paying for therapy to begin with, what you have to do is you have to strive for quick and easy data collection. I do primarily group sessions with clients who are all in the session, all working on music therapy treatment goals, and so the majority of my goals and objectives have yes/no answers. Did client participate in all therapeutic music experiences during the session? Yes or no? Then I also have, as part of my data collection, I have a list of all of the therapeutic music experiences that we did during that session. So that way I can say they engaged in these things, working on these particular skills. One of the things to keep in mind is that you need to decide how you can take data before you write your goals and objectives. If you're going to recommend that somebody be part of a large group treatment session, then you need to recognize the kind of complications that may occur by putting this client into this group setting and for you to keep data. And so you need to think about those things as you're writing your goals and objectives to help you out and to help you get and maintain appropriate and accurate data collection. So, just a quick recap. You want to make sure that things are easy for you to do as a clinician, putting in the time, working with the clients. You need to make sure that you can take your data collection in an accurate manner. You want to make sure that this all goes back to how your goals and objectives are written. And so if you have written that you need to know a certain percentage, you need to think about how you're going to collect that data. Also, you need to also recognize that things will change based on the type of treatment that the client is receiving and the type of treatment you're able to give to the client as part of your music therapy interaction and intervention. It all basically comes down to the idea that data collection is a foundational skill and one of the cornerstones of music therapy. And we take our data to see if our client is responding to music in the way that we hope that they are. And this helps us evaluate music therapy treatment, refine it, make it something that is better for the client, or to determine whether or not the client has met all criterion and music therapy is no longer appropriate. Data is the cornerstone of music therapy treatment, and it's very important. Hey, if you like this music therapy morsel, if you're interested in getting more notification about when we submit a new music therapy morsel, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and click the bell down here on the YouTube screen. That will tell you a little bit about, we'll send you notifications for when we post a new morsel. Also, I encourage you to look at my website, musictherapyworks.com, for more information, products, continuing music therapy education courses available for music therapists. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around the next music therapy morsel. Bye.